Good evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick McKee in the WFXR Plus studio as we continue tracking our winter storm across the region for us this evening, as we're seeing our storm continuing to affect parts of southwest and central Virginia. See, new snow coming into the Roanoke Valley. It's not a lot from what I'm seeing, just peeking outside the window. Enough to get us some snowflakes on the lens of the camera as we look down into the valley. Very fine snow is coming in for us at this hour, but certainly a little bit more expected here. Starting to taper off again. We saw it pick up a little bit during the last hour, but it looks like it's trying to taper off yet again. Give you the reverse view as we look southward now, as we're getting closer to sunset, and things are still continuing to fall outside. There's the off-phase roof cam. Shedding your story, Buchanan camera tonight, where we're seeing the winds continuing, but very little in the way of snowfall there. Clouds are much higher as you head in Buchanan as we get more into the dry zone. Same thing as we give you a live look from Thaxton Mountain, but we're in the clouds as we look live from Poor Mountain at this hour. Looking hard. I'm not seeing a lot falling from the sky, but certainly there may be a little bit in there, but certainly things are white up on top, as we're stuck in cloud level, which into the Roanoke Valley has been lowering down. You know, a couple hours ago, we were looking at clouds up at 6,000 feet. Now they're down to, I believe, around 2,600 feet for their base. Just looking here again, about 3,000 feet is where they're sitting currently. So they have lowered quite a bit to bring us that snow, but they're starting to go back up again. They got down to 2,600. They've gone back up to 3,000. So we're watching those cloud bases that are continuing on the low side, but heading back up. Compare that with Martinsville, cloud base at 900 feet. They're really low, and the snow is continuing to fall down. Martinsville to Danville. Going to show you that here in just a second here. Winter weather advisories continuing along the 460 corridor. Head southward. Winter storm warnings are up as we head through the evening hours for tonight, as that snow is continuing to fall. Fairly light in through some areas, but it looks a little bit heavier for us here as we head in through portions of Henry and Pittsylvania counties, southern portions of Bedford County, right around Smith Mountain Lake, into western portions of Halifax County at this hour. I clicked a little bit too fast. Let me put this in motion for you as we come back in a little bit tighter for you. And we're continuing to see that snow that is lifting its way northward from the Carolinas, lifting in our direction, but it's kind of hitting that dry air wall again that's trying to reform, and that's kind of suppressing it down to the south. Now, with that band trying to move its way eastward a little bit, Lynchburg, maybe another chance of getting some flurries or a little burst coming your way. We'll see here as we head through the next hour to see if we can get it in there. But the air has been extremely dry in central Virginia, and that's really kept a lot of this from being able to get to you. But this little band that keeps coming in from Henry County, Pittsylvania County, connects all the way up to the Atlantic Ocean near North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And that moisture just continues to stream its way northward for us this evening. Starting to pivot. The low out to the west, upper level low, is starting to kick its way eastward. So we're starting to see that orientation, that band changing. And that eventually is going to start to pull that snow out of south side as we head later on into this evening and into the overnight hours for tonight. It's going to force the surface low away from us, and then things will slowly start winding down. The reason it hasn't gotten as far north as we've been looking at, even a day or so ago, that dry air from the northeast keeps getting pushed down in our direction. So it's kind of the big fight between who wins, the dry air or the moist air. And what we've been seeing is, especially as you go northward, Hot Springs, dew point -5, dry air. We've just seen a little spike in Lexington, so maybe we try to get some flurries there. You've been hovering around 0 for your dew point all day long. Lynchburg, you've been around 3 for hours. It's trying to get to you. It just hasn't yet. Where we've seen it more persistent is Blacksburg, Wytheville, back down into Martinsville, Danville, and Floyd. Wytheville, Floyd, you started trending down with your dew points now. So the dry air starting to come back in there. Even Blacksburg's down slightly. You're still a little elevated. But I think the dry air may be starting to surge back down into the New River Valley. We'll start bringing in the Roanoke Valley. We'll see if the moisture can start surging northward there into central Virginia and say for South Boston, Halifax, Charlotte counties. If we get a little moisture there, getting one more little band of snow coming in for you here as we head through the evening hours for tonight. Visibility is down where we're seeing snow falling, still 3/4 of a mile in Blacksburg, but we're back to full visibility in Floyd. We've come up in Wytheville, only 1 mile in Roanoke, Martinsville, and Danville. Martinsville, Danville, into Patrick County. Patrick over to Pennsylvania counties, where we're going to end up with a bullseye here of some pretty decent totals. And this is where the snow's been a bit more persistent for us throughout the day. And we're certainly going to be watching for that there. In fact, let me just go back up to the radar here real fast before we start moving on to talk cold. I want to take you in. We turn on some storm reports here. Let's see what we've got. 3 o'clock this morning, 3 inches in Buffalo Ridge. I'm trying to see if we've got a more recent one because I did get a list earlier, and some of those should be making it into here. There's 4 inches in Mountain Valley, 2.5 Martinsville City, but that was as of 7 o'clock this morning, and it's only increased ever since. So a lot of these looking to be, there's a 330 Ridgeway. You were at 5.5 inches of snow that fell. Let me open my phone up here because I know I've got some of those reports, the data feed there. Public information statement. Here we go. So Floyd County, Floyd at 7 inches. We've got Galax at 6. Let me get down. Halifax, we had a Leda, 5 southeast of Leda, 4 inches of snow reported from you. 5.5 in Ridgeway is the high point I've got so far. Blacksburg, anywhere from 3 to 6 has been reported across along 460 between Christiansburg and Blacksburg today. 3 west of Kreitz, Patrick County, one report coming in of 12.5 inches fell. Bank it right up against the mountains, that moisture coming in and hitting the mountains there. That's caused that little spike in activity there into Patrick County. Pulaski, a 4-inch report. Bent Mountain was 4 inches in Roanoke County. But as you work down in elevation, we're down to around 3. The airport, I believe, was at 1.1. So 3 inches South County to 1 inch in North County kind of shows you the big variation just in a few miles from south to north that this storm has changed. Wythe County, anywhere from 3 to 5.3 inches being reported there so far for today. So that's some decent totals for us here across the region. All right, let me go back now. Find my place here where I was. Visibilities, let's go. Temperature and wind chill. We'll take a look at temperatures. We're at 19, but it feels like 7 in Roanoke. 18 feels like 10 in Lexington. 10 feels like -1 in Floyd. It's 8 feeling like 6 below in Wytheville. And 10 feeling like -5 in Hot Springs. And the bad thing is these wind speeds are only going to be going up for us as we head into tonight. There's 10 o'clock. Most of the snow is done. We may see a lingering light snow shower right along the North Carolina border until about midnight. And then that's going to pull out of here. We'll clear things out. We're going to wake up to sunshine across most of the region in the morning. Keep that sunshine as we go throughout the day. Here's the thing, though. The winds are going to be picking up, and it is going to feel cold for us outside as we head into the day on your Sunday. We've got cold weather alerts, extreme cold warnings. Amherst, Bedford, Franklin, and Patrick counties points to the west, back into West Virginia. In these areas, it's going to feel like 15 to 25 degrees below zero from time to time for us as we head through the next 24 hours. These set to expire as we go through the day on our Sunday. Cold weather advisories to the east. This is going to include Martinsville, Danville, and Lynchburg. Points off to the east from there. With the wind factored in, 5 to 10 below is what it's going to feel like for you as we head into tonight and tomorrow morning. And really, I think as we get into tomorrow, near or just before sunrise, when we're going to feel at our absolute coldest. Here's what it's going to feel like at 10 tonight. As the winds start picking up, they're not even going to be at their strongest point at this point in time. It's going to feel like 0 in Lexington, 9 in Lynchburg, but 3 in Roanoke, 5 below Blacksburg, 10 below Floyd and Hot Springs. It's going to get much, much colder for us as we head through the overnight hours for tonight. And especially if you've got snow on the ground, the air temperature itself is going to be colder. Throw some wind on top of it, and it's going to be very unpleasant. By 7 in the morning, feeling like 0 in Lynchburg, that'll be the warmest wind chill that we see. It looks like as we head area wide. Feeling like 2 below South Boston, 16 below in Blacksburg, 21 below into Galax and Floyd. So it is going to be extremely cold in the morning. We've had a lot of churches already make the decision to go virtual with services or cancel them altogether as we head into tomorrow. That full list available for you on WFXRTV.com. Hover over weather and then click on closings and delays, and you'll find that list on our website. As we've seen numerous of those reported and likely to get more as we head into the morning. It's going to be almost unbearable to go outside as we start off in your Sunday. A little bit better as we head toward lunchtime. Roanoke, South Side, Central Virginia, at least it feels like it's above 0. It still feels below 0 as we work into the New River Valley and most of the Highlands, maybe around 1, what it feels like in Hot Springs, but still 6 below in Wytheville. As we head into the afternoon, wind chills may briefly touch 0 before they start coming back down for us. Still slightly above for the Roanoke Valley, Central Virginia, South Side, but still below 0, what it feels like. 5 below in Floyd, -3 in Blacksburg and Hot Springs, -8, what it'll feel like in Lewisburg. Then the winds start coming down, but the temperatures start going back down again. And it's going to be a very windy day for us. We've got starting at 7 tonight, going through 4 o'clock on your Sunday afternoon, wind advisories up for Roanoke County, city of Roanoke and Salem as well, including Floyd County, Carroll, and Grayson County is in the cities of Galax. Wind advisories, 15 to 25 mile per hour sustained winds out of the northwest. We're going to see gusts going up to 40, 50 miles per hour as we head overnight tonight and through the day on Sunday. Let me just kind of show you the trajectory of these winds that we're looking at. With right now, they're not horrible. 11 mile per hour wind in Roanoke, 7 Floyd, gusting to 14. Still some gusts to 25 in Galax. So we're starting to see the winds creep up. Southern portions of the Blue Ridge, say into portions of Grayson, Carroll, into it looks like western portions of Patrick, southeastern portions of Floyd counties, 14 gusting to 19 in Hot Springs. Now I'll show you the trend here as we head overnight, and it's just straight up. We're going to see wind gusts toward 25 by midnight tonight. They're going over 30 by about 3 in the morning and near the 40 mile per hour mark as we head towards sunrise. Basically holding at that level as we head through the daylight hours on your Sunday. And then they start trending down from there back to near 30 as we head towards 7 p.m. We get them back down below 20, it looks like, as we head to about 3 o'clock on your Monday morning. And then they shouldn't be horrible as we head through the day on your Monday. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer. That's going to help us out for sure. But still, winds sustained 5 to 10, 6 to 12, gusts to around 15 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon. Behind this snow, it's going to be a cold one for tonight. Down to 12. Roanoke and Martinsville, 10 Lynchburg, 12 in South Boston, but 8 in Blacksburg, 5 Wytheville and Floyd, 4 into Hot Springs. If you've turned your sink off from that drip, you'll want to turn it back on again as we head through the overnight hours for tonight. And the wind only going to make it feel colder for us as we head toward morning. And then as we look to tomorrow, still cold. Teens, 20s for highs. Areas seeing less snow, I think around South Boston and Lexington, maybe into the 30s. Danville, you'll be right around that mark as well. So we're going to see the cold hanging on for us again as we head into tomorrow. But relief comes as we get into next week. Brandon's back at 10 o'clock to talk more about that with you. We'll have another update for you here on Plus coming up at 7 o'clock.